Hello there everyone, Mediocre Otaku here, and today we're going to be looking at the original TV series of Fairy Tail, which I want to do in honor of the manga's ending, which is happening next week. And it has been an interesting ride, definitely a lot of ups and downs from this franchise. Overall, I still really enjoyed it though. Um, so, for those of you who are unaware, this is actually kind of similar to Naruto, except it's actual magic instead of jutsus. This is I think all these are regions A and B, even the series 2 stuff. As you can see, I got some damage there, and I tried to tape it together. I think all these spines have happy on them. Yeah, opening it up, we have episode list, and we have disc 1, disc 2, which is pretty cool, and disc 3, and disc 4. And really, disc 3 and disc 4 are the Blu-rays. And they all have reversible covers there. But yeah, so I'm gonna say I would recommend at least checking this show out. I think these first 4 sets I'm showing off are all really good and fun content. Some of the stuff after them, maybe not so much, but there are still some really good story arcs in this show that I really do love. These are more like the beginning of Naruto, where they're just sort of going on missions. Let's see, what's Happy doing here? Eating fish. And yeah, there's still some really cool stuff going on. All these characters are so likable in this show. One of the big complaints is that they never kill anyone off in this franchise, which I can completely understand why people would have that complaint, because they tease it so many times, and it just it leaves you feeling like there's no real direness going on if no one's actually you know what I mean? There's no consequences to anything. Which is fine for the beginning of the show, but I think there are some story arcs where they should have. It really would have had a lasting impact if someone would have gotten killed off. I don't know. Having said that, I really don't want to see anyone die. So. There's Lucy with Plu. For those of you who don't know, Hiro Mashima, who is the author of this series, also did Rave Master, which I'm hoping that someone license rescues that at some point, because I would love to either read it or watch the anime. I know the anime doesn't cover everything, but I remember seeing it on TV. I guess it just didn't do that well. I think it sort of came out at the time when the anime companies were sort of in a state of crisis, because people were no longer buying these single volume DVDs because it was way too fucking expensive. And so I think that probably is why Rave Master didn't do so hot. But I don't know. I'm just speculating here. There's Urza. Alright. This set here has one of my favorite scenes in all of Fairy Tail in it. It's just a really beautiful and well done scene. Animation done by A1 Pictures, which this really does not look like an A1 show, gotta be honest. A1 has this very sort of distinct art style for most of their stuff, which this does not have. at least this first series of Fairy Tail. The second one definitely has more of an A1 look to it, but it also looks more accurate to how Hiro Mashima's style had changed over the years, so I really don't mind it. But yeah, for A1 has this they have this habit of I also changed how to do this here, of drawing people with like their foreheads sort of sticking out further than they should. It's weird. Yeah. I'm guessing the reason why they changed the art style so much on this is because it saves money on the ink. Also, these are god damn it. These are different images, which I think is the first time that's happened. No, it happened with set 3 too. Never mind. God damn it. So I hope you guys are in for a long video, because I'm not even halfway done. Alright. Set 6, which has some filler stuff in it. The filler in this show is, in the first series, is pretty okay, I think. There's this dark guild called the Irration Seis, who, in this filler arc, after this time skip, they return and they do some more stuff, which isn't included in the manga, although I believe they do reference it in the manga, which is interesting. So is it canon? I guess so. And maybe it's something that Hiro Mashima wanted to include. He just didn't feel like he had time. So I think that's happened with One Piece before. Okay. Lucy and Erza with their tatas hanging out. As is the case with Fairy Tail. I mean, Lucy's tatas aren't really hanging out, but you do get some side boob action. The show has a pretty decent amount of fan service, so if you are really not into that at all, I guess I can't really recommend this show. Fan service is never really something that's bothered me, but I also don't really care if the show has it or not. And here we go into the Edolas stuff, which is also really fun stuff. They basically go into this parallel world where there are these completely different versions of themselves. And there's like no actual magic there, so they're all kind of screwed unless they get items that contain magic. So I would definitely recommend watching this too. It's a shame because the arc before this isn't bad. I just don't think it's fantastic. And there's kind of a cheap. This is, man, they really started going light on the artwork on these discs. And the premise of it is like, oh, we're going to use this spell called Nirvana to make all the light dark and all the dark light, so all the bad stuff will be good and all the good stuff will be bad. It's like, why wouldn't you just want to do something that makes everything bad? I don't really get it. But oh well, it's a decent arc. And the Irration Seis are kind of important throughout the rest of the show. And it also introduces this character called Wendy, who is kind of important to the rest of the show, so I guess you really should watch that arc. Just out of... I'd say like the original 120 some odd episodes of this are definitely my favorite of the whole series. We have Carla, or Charla, or whatever. Got Panther Lily, who is, I really don't like his English voice actor very much, I gotta be honest. I forget the guy's name, but he just sounds very, like, disinterested, which I don't know if that's what he's going for, or if he's just not a super great actor. I really don't know. think I've heard him in other stuff and he's done a better job. So, I don't know. Just do not care for that performance. Now here is where we start getting into my favorite arc. The Tenrou Island stuff. Basically, there are different classes of wizard, and if you want to be an S-class wizard, which is the highest level, and the only way you can go on S-rank missions, which really don't even come up at all anymore after this point, you have to go through this trial to become an S-rank wizard. And there's all sorts of insane stuff that happens on this island. I really don't want to give any spoilers, but it's awesome. Highly recommend this arc. This is where the two main bad guys that'll be around for the rest of the series show up. So cool stuff there. And these basic ass discs. And here we have Wendy and Mest. Alright. This is still some Tenrou Island stuff. If they would have just had like one more arc after this, I think it would have worked out like just fine. But they it's not the route they decided to go in. There's Panther Lily again. And here we have Juvia, who's probably my favorite female character in the show. Just because she's like super dedicated and loyal to Gray. I'd waifu her, I guess. I don't know. I don't get into that stuff. I don't know why I just said that. Yeah. But, there's definitely been a few really touching scenes between her and Gray. One of them happening in the final story arc, which is going on in the manga. And it would have been a perfect time to kill one of them off and really leave you with this lasting impact. But spoiler alert, no one fucking stays dead in this show, and I mean that. You might think someone's dead, but no, they're gonna come back at some point. Unless they decide to just kill everyone off in the final chapter. This is Region A only. When did that happen? Region A and B. Region A. That's really bizarre that they would just do that, like, with 5 volumes left? What the hell? More Panther Lily action. And here we have Mavis, who is the original founder of Fairy Tail. I'm just gonna skip these discs, because there's really nothing new at this point. Natsu and Happy. Alright. Uh-oh. God damn it. The way they designed these slipcases to have to sort of cut out is cool. It also means sometimes the plastic part of the DVD case can get stuck on them. Volume 12. And I should note that they are releasing these in, like, as Funimation normally does, they'll release them on, like, 12, 13 episode sets, and then they'll re-release them with, like, 2 sets combined. So that is definitely a lot cheaper, and I would have to recommend getting the combined sets at this point. But since I was getting the single volumes, I would have just not felt right if I started getting the compilation sets. We have forget her name. So this is the sort of fillerish stuff that I was talking about earlier. Started off on the last set, and this filler arc is still decent. Better than most filler arcs, I'd say, but nothing really too fantastic either. It looks like, just based off of the artwork here, that this is the conclusion of the filler arc, and then it goes into the next story arc as well. The Grand Magic Games, which is a tournament between all of the guilds, which you think would be fucking awesome. And certain parts of it are, and other parts of it are just complete bullshit. So, still, I wouldn't say this is a bad arc. It's just, I feel like they could have done better. Definitely could have done better. Let's see, who do we got here? Oh, we have this, I forget this guy's name. He's not very important. Got a Mirror Jane here. And same old stupid artwork. This is really cool, though. Like, this is definitely the best reversible cover, I think. It just has everyone on it. The original series here definitely leaves off on a cliffhanger, because they literally just caught right up to the manga, and they were like, you know what, we're just gonna put this show on hiatus for a while, the manga do its thing, and we'll get back to it at some point. Got Lucy looking sassy. We got Frosh, who is a flying cat who thinks he's a frog, apparently. Got Frosh again. And Erza and Jalal. And we only have one set left. And this does not conclude the story arc, but just leave on a very, like I said, cliffhangery note. And they let you know that there's going to be more anime at some point. Yeah. Good stuff. And Lecter, I believe is this one's name. Oh, Master Makarov. Shelia, I think is her name. She's like a God Slayer wind magic user, and she's a Dragon Slayer wind user, so that's why they're like friends. Man. I'm also gonna have to do Fairy Tail Series 2, which won't take nearly as long, because it's like almost half the amount of episodes. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.